My dear friend, let's sit together in this moment of longing where your heart aches for a breakthrough that hasn't come, where the wait for answered prayers feels endless and the miracles you're seeking seem delayed. I want to address those times when you're not seeing the breakthrough you've been praying for, your dreams stall, your circumstances don't shift, and God's promises feel out of reach. Maybe you've been asking for healing, but the pain lingers. Perhaps you're seeking provision or restoration, yet the doors remain closed. Or maybe you're crying out for change, but the silence stretches on, leaving you weary. It's a heavy, disheartening place, isn't it? You might feel stuck, doubt your faith, or wonder if God's forgotten your prayers. But let me assure you right now, your delayed breakthrough isn't a denial, it's a divine process. God is working in the waiting, affirming your divine worth, refining your faith, and preparing a miracle that glorifies His name. Drawing on Dr. Myles Munroe's wisdom about your God-given purpose, I'll unpack why you're not seeing breakthrough and what God is doing in the delay, showing you how to live so vibrantly that you trust His timing and thrive in the destiny He's crafting, not defined by the wait or the silence you face. Picture this, you're not alone in waiting for a breakthrough. Think of Abraham and Sarah, who waited decades for the promised son Isaac, yet God's delay shaped a nation. Or consider Hannah, who wept for years for a child, her prayers unanswered, yet God's timing birthed Samuel, a prophet who changed Israel. Even Jesus waited until Lazarus died before raising him, turning a delayed miracle into a testament of God's power. Dr. Myles Munroe taught that your worth isn't diminished by delayed miracles. It's magnified in the purpose God is cultivating through the wait. When you're not seeing breakthrough, it's not a sign of God's absence, but of His sovereignty, preparing you for a miracle that aligns with His perfect plan. The delay isn't your end, it's God's way of setting the stage for your purpose. Let's explore why you're not seeing breakthrough and what God is doing in the delay. First, God uses delays to strengthen your faith. The wait tests your trust, teaching you to rely on His promises, not your timeline. As Hebrews 11:6 reminds us, without faith, it is impossible to please God. That unanswered prayer is building your spiritual muscle. Second, delays align you with God's timing. Your breakthrough might be delayed because God is orchestrating circumstances, people, opportunities, or your own readiness to ensure the miracle fulfills His purpose. That closed door is His preparation. Finally, the wait refines your purpose. Delays strip away impatience or misplaced priorities, clarifying what God's called you to do and preparing you to steward the breakthrough wisely. Dr. Munroe said, your purpose is like a harvest. Delays are the season of planting, not of failure. That's you right now, being planted in God's hands, even in the wait. I know this season stirs raw emotions. Waiting for a breakthrough can make you feel overlooked, like your prayers don't matter, or like God's promises are for others, not you. You might think, I've done everything right, so why the delay? Or, God's not listening. Perhaps you're exhausted, tempted to give up, or afraid the miracle won't come. I felt that weight, my friend, and it's heavy. But let me speak to your soul. The delay isn't a rejection, it's a refinement. You're not called to measure your worth by answered prayers or to despair in the wait. You are a child of God, crafted with a heart that perseveres, a purpose that shines through the silence. Habakkuk 2:3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. That's you, waiting with purpose, held by God. The delay is God inviting you to shine where your faith meets His plan. That's the power I want you to embrace today. You're not seeing breakthrough because God is strengthening your faith, aligning His timing, and refining your purpose for a miracle that glorifies Him and affirms your divine worth. The delay isn't your failure. It's a sign that God is working, guiding you to where your heart belongs. Dr. Munroe taught that your purpose is to reflect God's glory, not to be dimmed by unanswered prayers. When you trust his timing and keep shining, you become a beacon ready for the moment God delivers your miracle. The wait might test you, but you'll be too busy thriving in God's plan, your life a testament to his faithfulness. If you're weary from waiting, doubting your faith in this silent season, hear this. Release that burden. You're not defined by the delay or the silence of your prayers. You're defined by the God who loves you, who hears you, who calls you his own. Don't let thoughts like my breakthrough's never coming or I'm not enough dim your light. You are enough just as you are. God's got a miracle where your heart will soar, but you must trust his timing to step into it. Romans 4:20-21 says of Abraham, he did not waver through unbelief regarding the promise of God, but was strengthened in his faith, fully persuaded that God had power to do what he had promised. That's God's promise. You will see his power. Trust that he's working even now. So how do you move forward? First, root yourself in God's promises. Stop measuring your worth by breakthroughs and start resting in his word. Spend time in prayer, worship, or scripture, letting verses like Psalm 27:14 fill you. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Tell yourself daily, God hears me. My heart is his. I'm destined to shine. When you're anchored in his promises, the delay loses its sting and you shine with a confidence that comes from knowing you're heard. Next, surrender the timeline to God. The wait isn't yours to control. His plan perfects it. Take your frustration to him in prayer. Say, Lord, I give you this delay. Shape it into purpose. Write down your prayers, then release them, trusting that God's timing outweighs the wait. Dr. Munroe taught that you're called to steward your purpose, not force breakthroughs. Pray for patience to trust him and surround yourself with a few who can pray with you, aligning with God's plan. When you surrender the timeline, you reclaim your peace, and that freedom lets you thrive as God's beloved. Then embrace your God-given purpose. The delay might cloud your vision, but your heart was never meant to stay in waiting. It's meant for God's glory. Celebrate what makes you you, your gifts, your faith, your resilience. Pour your energy into what aligns with God's purpose. Serve others. Prepare for your calling. Take small steps in faith. Dr. Munroe said, your purpose is where your gifts meet God's call. When you lean into God's plan, you prepare for the breakthrough, and the delay fades into the brilliance of your destiny. To those feeling stuck, thinking the delay means you're failing or afraid to hope, worried the silence defines you, I get it. The weight feels like a wall, and the fear of unanswered prayers is heavy. But you can't live God's purpose by giving up or doubting his promises. Shining, serving, chasing your dreams. It takes a heart that trusts, and it's safe in God's hands. Don't let the delay define you. Trust that God is preparing your miracle, that he's crafting your purpose, that your destiny is secure. Galatians 6:9 says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That's you, reaping in God's time, free to shine. Your purpose awaits when you trust his timing. Let me share another story. I knew a woman who prayed for healing from a chronic illness, but years passed with no breakthrough. In the wait, she began sharing her journey through a blog, encouraging others. Her words touched thousands, and eventually a new treatment brought her healing. The delay wasn't her end. It was God's preparation, crafting a purpose that uplifted many. She thrived, supported by those who valued her, her faith radiant. That journey proved Dr. Munroe's truth. Your worth is in who God made you, not the breakthroughs you're waiting for. So, what's the delay holding you back from? What dream are you pausing because the miracle hasn't come? What purpose are you hesitating to chase because God's silent? My friend, you don't need the breakthrough to shine. You need God's purpose. You need your faith, your courage, your trust in the one who's working. The delay may test you, but it can't stop you unless you let it. Rise, release the weight, and walk in the destiny God's preparing. The world needs your light, and no delay can dim what God's designed. Now let's talk about living so vibrantly that the delay and silence become whispers in your story. Not to dismiss the struggle, but to honor God's purpose in you. Live for his glory, not the breakthrough. When you're not seeing breakthrough, it's tempting to focus on what's missing, but that's a trap. Instead, use your heart to serve God's kingdom. Share your gifts, shine boldly, pursue your calling even in the wait. When you live for God, your light grows, ready for the moment he delivers your miracle. Dr. Munroe said, your purpose is God's priority, not your delays. Let that drive you. Live with confidence, knowing God's timing is your strength. The delay might stir doubt, but trust that your light is enough, that his plan is perfect, that your destiny is secure. Step out boldly even when the miracle tarries. When you carry yourself with the assurance that God is working, you glow, preparing for the right people and moments to align. That confidence isn't just for you. It's a beacon for others waiting for breakthroughs, showing them they can shine through God's timing. Live with purpose. Don't let the wait derail you. Wake up each day asking, God, how can I shine for you today? Where do you want my light? Purpose keeps you steady even when the delay lingers. When you focus on what God's called you to do, you build a life that's radiant, ready for the harvest He's preparing. The delay might linger, but you'll be too busy glorifying God to stay in the wait, your life shouting His goodness. To rise above this season, cultivate what I call God confidence, the deep knowing that your worth comes from the one who made you, not the miracles you see. Spend time with Him. Let His word fill you. 2 Peter 3:9 says, the Lord is not slow in keeping His promise, as some understand slowness. That's you, held by a faithful God, even in the delay. When you're rooted in that, no weight can sway you. Your light grows, ready for God's appointed time. Practice gratitude too. It's easy to focus on the delay, but gratitude shifts your eyes to God's work. Thank Him for strengthening your faith, for preparing your miracle, for the purpose He's unfolding. Thank Him for the lessons, the growth, the moments of hope. Try this. Each day, write down one way God's sustaining you. Maybe it's a spark of patience, a kind soul, or a quiet assurance. Gratitude doesn't erase the weight, but it lifts you above it, turning the delay into a bridge to your destiny. Let me share one more story. I knew a man who prayed for reconciliation with his estranged family, but years passed with no breakthrough. In the wait, he began counseling others in broken relationships, using his pain to help. His work softened his family's hearts, leading to restoration. The delay wasn't his end. It was God's preparation, shaping a purpose that healed many. He thrived, supported by those who valued him, his faith unwavering. That journey proved Dr. Munroe's words, your worth is in who God made you to be. Guard God's purpose in you, my friend. The delay and silence can feel like a wilderness, but every moment is God working. He's shaping your heart, setting the stage for your miracle. Trust that He's not done. Your job is to keep shining, keep serving, keep being you, even in the wait, and celebrate your light. Don't let the delay dim it. Your strength, your gifts, your heart, they're all part of the treasure God gave you. Share it boldly, knowing it's enough. You are not defined by the delay or the silence of your breakthrough. You are defined by the God who loves you, who hears you, who calls you to a purpose that's yours alone. You are radiant, irreplaceable, a vessel of divine destiny. The delay is a lesson, a sign, a nudge to shine wiser. Root yourself in God's love. Release the weight. Embrace your purpose. Live for His glory with confidence and purpose. Lean into His confidence. Stay grateful. Trust His timing. Celebrate who you are. Do this and you'll live a life so vibrant that the delay fades into the brilliance of your purpose, glorifying God and inspiring others to trust Him too. Go out there, my friend. Shine like you were made to. Chase your purpose with every ounce of faith you've got. Let the delay be the spark that lights your greatest chapter. The world's waiting for your light, and no wait can stop God's plan. You've got this, and I'm cheering you every step of the way.